Hey guys, my name is Massimo, and today I wanted to give some advice on how to play as Blackbeard. Now, admittedly, this guy has quickly become one of the best operators in Rainbow Six Siege, and if you play it like every other character in the game, you're gonna do just fine. If you're on offense and you play it just like you did with any other class in the game, you're going to do incredibly well because of that shield at the end of his assault rifle. But if you want to turn this guy into a god, there are a couple of ways that you can go about it. In my opinion, the best way to play this guy is not necessarily to play a supportive role, because you're not like Montagna here. You're actually going to be offensive. You're going to be killing people, but you're not going to want to be the guy that is on the front lines pushing the objective inside of the building. Now, you can do that. Don't get me wrong. If you want to play on the front lines, you want to be in the building pushing the objective that way, you're still going to be very successful simply because Blackbeard is that good. But in my opinion, if you want to get the most out of this guy, you're going to want to make the outside of the map and windows your playground. The reason why this guy is so good is because of this tactic. If all you're exposing is your head, well, that's protected by the shield, and then the wall is protecting the rest of your body, so you basically become immortal. Any enemy that tries to win a one-on-one firefight with you are gonna lose, hands down. The reason why Blackbeard is as powerful as he is right now is that he can basically claim an entire room by himself with not really putting himself at any disadvantage whatsoever. Really, the only effective way that the enemy is gonna be able to take you out is to flank you outside of the building. That's not too bad, because as long as you're observant to your surroundings, you can hear them breaking down the windows, and you should be able to take them out just fine. But that is your biggest weakness. As long as you're able to avoid those situations, you've secured that room for your team. Now, one argument that I see people make is that this tactic isn't all that effective if you're going against a defending team that actually knows what they're doing. If you're on defense and you realize that a Blackbeard is peering through one of these windows, we'll never peek it anymore. He may be invulnerable, but if he can never get a kill, it's completely useless, and so this tactic becomes completely invalid. That would be true if you weren't playing the objective. I cannot tell you how many times I've cleared an objective room from the outside of the building because either I killed the people that were inside of it or they just ran away because they didn't want to do a one-on-one fight with Blackbeard. At that point, yeah, I'm useless because I'm not getting any kills anymore, but then I just tell my teammates, okay, jump on into the objective, we're good to go, start securing the area. Then at that point, the enemy has to make the choice. Okay, do I want to just flat out lose by default because they're playing the objective, or do I want to try and get into this room and kill a Blackbeard who is basically immortal? This really is the reason why I think Blackbeard is as disgusting as he is right now. Because as long as you're playing the objective, which I know might sound strange to some people out there. A lot of people like to play Rainbow Six Siege as if it's team deathmatch. But as long as you're playing it smart, it doesn't matter that the defensive team is trying to avoid your strengths and manipulate your weakness, which is that you're very immobile. It doesn't matter because they're going to have to come to you. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't enter into the building. And a lot of times you're going to eventually have to because the objective doesn't have a window that you can take advantage of. The only thing about this is that you just need to take it a little bit more methodically. The way that I like to approach it is that I like to map out in my mind how I'm going to be moving around the map. I've noticed that there is a shield in the doorway that the defensive team was so kind enough to place there. I can then use that as my new forward position. If behind that shield is a fallen bookcase, I can then jump on over and use that as my new defensive position. And while of course you're not going to be as immortal as if you were outside of a window, you're still able to take advantage of his strengths without leaving yourself completely exposed. And so in my opinion, this really is the best way of playing Blackbeard, and if you do it correctly, you're gonna feel like a god. No one's gonna be able to stand against you. Only really a lucky headshot or a lucky kill is gonna be able to take you out. And it's incredible. I honestly do think that this guy might need a little bit of a tweak. I think he might need a bit of a nerf, because as long as you're approaching it like the way that I just described, he is an absolute nightmare to fight against. But yeah, guys, that is about it for today's little video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you have any tactics that you like to use while playing as Blackbeard. I know I didn't really talk too much about his weapons, but honestly, you can't go wrong. His DMR hits like a truck, so does his assault rifle. The Scar H is absolutely incredible. And so if you guys have any advice for anyone who is new to playing as this operator, let everyone know down below. But yeah, guys, until tomorrow, have a good one and take it easy.